What if the next Middle East conflict isn't just regional, but global? On June 13, 2025, Israel launched a surprise military strike on Iranian nuclear sites. Hours later, Iran retaliated, sending shockwaves through the entire world. This isn't just a war between two countries, it's a test of alliances, ideologies, and influence. The question isn't just what happens next, but who stands with who? This video reveals 10 countries that are most likely to support Iran if this war escalates. From long-standing military partners to silent strategic allies, these nations may shape the future of the conflict and the world order. Some of them may surprise you. We'll break down each country's motivations. Is it religion, revenge, resources, or realpolitik? Why would they risk global condemnation or economic consequences to stand by Tehran? And how might their involvement shift the balance of power? Understanding these alliances isn't about taking sides, it's about understanding the stakes. Because in the Middle East, loyalty can be a weapon and silence can be deadly. Let's dive deep into the nations that could stand behind Iran, and why that matters more than ever. Now let's begin with a country that has stood beside Iran for decades, even when no one else would. Number 1. Syria, Iran's battlefield ally. Syria and Iran are not just allies, they're battlefield brothers. Since the Syrian civil war began in 2011, Iran has invested billions to support the Assad regime. From elite Quds Force operatives to Hezbollah-backed militias, Iran treats Syria as a strategic depth. Today, Syria is Iran's western flank, crucial for deterring Israeli airstrikes. In return, Syria receives weapons, oil, and security cooperation. If war escalates, Syria would let Iranian troops and missiles operate from its territory. This could turn Syria into a launchpad against Israel. Beyond military logic, there's political loyalty. Bashar al-Assad owes much of his survival to Tehran. In international diplomacy, this type of gratitude is rare and dangerous. If Israel expands its attacks into Syria, it would likely pull Damascus deeper into the fight. While Syria is still rebuilding from its civil war, it remains geopolitically valuable. Its location, bordering Israel, Lebanon, and Iraq, gives Iran the flexibility to stretch the battlefield and complicate Israeli military planning. In short, Syria isn't just a partner, it's Iran's regional anchor. Any escalation in this war would instantly ignite the Syrian front. Number 2. Lebanon, the Hezbollah factor. Lebanon doesn't act as a unified state in foreign policy, but Hezbollah does. Hezbollah is perhaps Iran's most powerful non-state ally. With thousands of rockets, elite fighters, and deep-rooted ties to Iran's Revolutionary Guards, Hezbollah is effectively Tehran's proxy on Israel's doorstep. If war escalates, Hezbollah is the likeliest force to open a northern front against Israel. This isn't hypothetical. Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, has already declared that any attack on Iran is an attack on the resistance movement across the region. This alliance is built on more than just arms, it's ideology. Hezbollah and Iran see themselves as defenders of Shia Islam standing against Western and Israeli influence. They coordinate closely, not just militarily, but through joint political strategy and messaging. However, a Hezbollah-Israel war would devastate Lebanon. Many Lebanese citizens fear this scenario, as the country is already in economic collapse. But for Hezbollah, strategic loyalty to Iran may override domestic caution. The question isn't if Hezbollah would join a wider war, but how long it would wait to do so. Their involvement could change the nature of the conflict overnight. Dynamics. Number 3. Iraq, caught between two fires. Iraq is officially neutral, but it's a land of hidden divides. The government juggles US ties and Iranian influence, while powerful Shia militias stand firmly pro-Iran. These militias, trained and funded by Tehran, act as a parallel military force within Iraq. Groups like Kataib Hezbollah and Asaib al-Haq have pledged to defend Iran against any attack, especially from Israel. In recent years, they've launched drone strikes on US and Israeli-linked targets in Iraq and Syria. Iran views Iraq as a vital corridor, using its airspace to move weapons to Syria and Lebanon. This gives Iraq immense strategic importance, making it a likely hotspot if conflict erupts. Iraq's population leans pro-Iran in certain provinces. Cultural, religious, and economic ties run deep, especially among Shia communities. This adds another layer of support, even as Baghdad tries to avoid being dragged into the fire. In a broader sense, Iraq is Iran's land bridge to the Levant. And in geopolitics, logistics win wars. That's why Iraq matters so much. Number 4. Yemen, the Southern Front, a conflict with deep thousands of kilometers away. Another regional actor aligned with Iran is watching closely, a powerful faction based in Yemen. Despite years of conflict and isolation, this group has developed significant missile and drone capabilities, largely influenced by advanced technology and strategic support from Iran. In recent years, they've carried out operations near the Red Sea, citing alignment with Iran's regional stance and expressing support for the Palestinian cause. If tensions continue to escalate, they may increase their activity, this time more directly involved. For Iran, this partnership adds strategic depth. It forces Israel to remain vigilant across multiple fronts, potentially stretching its defense resources and diverting focus from the core conflict. Geographically, this group is positioned near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a vital global shipping passage. In a time of crisis, disruptions here could have economic and military ripple effects that extend far beyond the region. Though Yemen remains a country deeply affected by war, this group has proven resilient, motivated, and ideologically committed. In a larger conflict, they represent a significant but unpredictable factor that could shape the course of events. Roots. Number 5. Russia, a strategic partnership on steroids. Iran and Russia are closer than ever politically, economically, and militarily. After sanctions hit both countries hard, they forged a powerful alliance of convenience. In the shadow of a new Middle Eastern war, Russia could become Iran's strongest state-level backer. On paper, Russia seems far removed from the Iran-Israel conflict, but in practice, it has everything to gain from supporting Iran. Russia wants to undermine US and Israeli influence in the Middle East. It aims to distract the West from Ukraine and strengthen its position as a global power broker. Russia has already provided Iran with advanced weaponry and satellite technology, while Iran has supplied thousands of drones for use in Ukraine. This partnership works both ways, and if war escalates, Russia may not send troops but could offer intelligence and cyber support. Moscow might push OPEC Plus towards oil strategies that benefit Iran and squeeze Israel's allies. Russia's support isn't about ideology, it's about opportunity. With rising global tensions, Moscow sees Iran as a strategic partner to pressure the West. In a world of shifting alliances, Russia and Iran are united not by fate, but by strategy. And in war, that's what truly counts. Number 6. China, the quiet power player influencing from the shadows. Unlike Russia, China plays the long game and often plays it quietly. But don't mistake silence for neutrality. China is one of Iran's largest trade partners, its top oil buyer, and a key diplomatic shield at the UN Security Council. Beijing has invested billions into Iran's infrastructure and energy projects as part of its Belt and Road Initiative. In 2021, the two nations signed a 25-year cooperation agreement. That deal includes economic, security, and military dimensions, positioning China as a strategic partner if tensions explode. China's main interest is stability in oil supply, but not necessarily peace. A limited regional war that disrupts US influence could benefit China economically and strategically. While it won't send weapons directly, it may quietly provide surveillance tech, economic lifelines, or back-channel diplomacy to support Iran. China is on a mission to challenge US dominance, but in a subtle way. By supporting Iran, they're expanding their influence, especially in Asia and Africa, where partnerships matter. While they may not be in the headlines, their behind-the-scenes support is crucial, shaping logistics, energy markets, and global opinion. In modern warfare, silent allies hold immense power, and China, they're watching and calculating every move. Number 7. Qatar, the financial bridge funding key initiatives. Qatar has long played both sides in Middle East conflicts, hosting US military bases while keeping ties with Iran. But if war breaks out, Qatar might lean closer to Tehran, out of necessity and proximity. The two nations share the world's largest natural gas field, collaborating on energy policy. This partnership ensures economic stability, especially as sanctions tighten elsewhere. While Qatar may avoid direct military involvement, it could act as a financial bridge for Iran, helping funnel funds, facilitate trade, or mediate negotiations on Iran's terms. Its role would be more financial and diplomatic than military, but still incredibly important. Qatar's influence over Al Jazeera and other media outlets is significant. In wartime, narratives shape public opinion, and Qatar could subtly benefit Tehran. Qatar has supported resistance movements aligned with Iran, like Hamas in Gaza. Its ideological sympathy with anti-Israel causes could tip the balance in a regional conflict. In a region where neutrality is rare, Qatar may provide Iran the quiet support it needs to endure and possibly win. Number 8. Pakistan, the reluctant sympathizer. Pakistan is a nuclear power with a vested interest in regional stability. Officially neutral, its historical ties with Iran hint at potential quiet support if conflict escalates. Sharing a long border, Pakistan has cooperated with Iran on security and counterterrorism. While allied with Saudi Arabia and the US, its Shia minority makes it sensitive to Iran's status. In the event of war, Pakistan might allow arms transit or intelligence sharing, even acting as a mediator for Iran. It could also rally Muslim solidarity, especially if civilian casualties in Iran provoke global outrage. Pakistan's military has a long history of strategic engagement in regional affairs, often supporting its interests from the shadows. In the current tensions, they may adopt a cautious yet influential stance, offering support behind the scenes while avoiding direct involvement. With close ties to Saudi Arabia and Gulf partners, Pakistan will tread carefully to avoid diplomatic fallout. But if the conflict escalates, especially with civilian harm or sovereignty violations, public sentiment could push leadership to act. In such a scenario, religious unity and national identity might fuel quiet alignment, positioning Pakistan as a background player in regional dynamics. Number 9. Algeria, North Africa's revolutionary voice. Algeria stands firm, opposing Western intervention in the Middle East. Historically, it has supported Iran's stance on Palestine, resisting normalization with Israel. Its foreign policy is rooted in anti-imperialism and solidarity with Muslim causes. Iran shares this ideology, seeking soft power allies like Algeria. This common ground may lead Algeria to symbolically support Tehran, even if military aid is unlikely. In regional organizations, Algeria champions causes that align with Iran's interests. It could mobilize African support or resist Western narratives around the war. Algeria stands strong, maintaining its military capabilities and independence from US influence. This independence allows Algeria to voice dissent and support Iran's allies, logistically and diplomatically. While not directly on the battlefield, Algeria serves as a crucial ideological pillar. In a world where global opinion shapes conflicts, Algeria's voice is more significant than ever. Solidarity isn't just about weapons, it's about legitimacy, and Algeria provides that legitimacy to Iran. Number 10. Venezuela, distant but devoted, standing in solidarity. Though geographically distant, Venezuela stands as one of Iran's loudest supporters on the global stage. Under Nicolas Maduro's leadership, Caracas has embraced Tehran as a fellow target of US sanctions. Together, they resist imperialism, united in their struggle. Iran has played a crucial role in helping Venezuela rebuild its oil industry, providing technicians and essential parts. In return, Venezuela offers diplomatic support and trade agreements, defying Western policies. During regional conflicts, Venezuela could act as a propaganda ally for Iran, coordinating media efforts and joint speeches at the UN. In a divided world, these symbols of solidarity matter, even if they seem symbolic. Tehran and Caracas are exploring military cooperation, but logistical challenges make real deployments unlikely. Yet, their bond is strong, built on shared defiance, not borders. Venezuela shows us that Iran's influence extends beyond the Middle East. In this age of global polarization, even distant allies can shift the tone and tempo of conflict. This isn't just about Iran versus Israel anymore, it's about global fault lines, ideological, economic, and strategic. When war breaks out, countries pick sides, and those choices ripple across the world. Iran's network of allies, from nearby militias to distant states, shows that no war today is isolated. Every action on the battlefield echoes in oil markets, UN chambers, and public squares across continents. Understanding who supports Iran helps us understand what's really at stake. Control of narratives, access to energy, the survival of regimes, and the very structure of global alliances. For viewers, the value lies in awareness. This isn't just news, it's the unfolding of a global realignment. Whether you agree with Iran or not, understanding its allies helps you understand the future. Because if this war expands, it won't just be Iran's fight, it might be the world's. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to comment your thoughts, share with someone who needs to understand what's happening. and subscribe for more deep dives into geopolitics, power, and the forces shaping our world today. Stay informed, stay ahead.